Welcome back, everyone, and happy Halloween. This is day 31 of 31 days of horror films for me, and I watched, besides The Exorcist, one day I rewatched The Exorcist, but every other day I watched a new film every day of the month of October, besides the one day with The Exorcist that I rewatched. And today, the final day, I watched The Nightmare Before Christmas, which check out that review I just did as well. And I got to watch early the new Suspiria, 2018 Suspiria. Now, the original Suspiria I watched this year, so I don't have as much of a nostalgia or full knowledge of the original Suspiria, even though I remember it pretty well just watching it once. I bought it on Blu-ray because I knew from everybody saying how fantastic it is that it probably would be, and the original Suspiria blew me away watching it for the first time this year. And going into Suspiria 2018, I was pumped because this movie, just how visually different and visually pleasing it looked to the original, and directed by, I'm going to butcher the dude's name, but Luca Guadagnino or something. Like, I probably just said that like the worst way possible, but the director of Call Me By Your Name, which was an incredible surprise for last year, that actually really was like an emotional ride. That movie blew me away. And it just surprised me in how beautiful that movie was. And we get another type of beautiful movie with Suspiria 2018 from him, but this is the exact opposite, where Call Me By Your Name was a realistic movie. This one was about, like the original, it's about this girl, Susie, who goes to a dance academy in Germany, in Berlin, and there's something suspicious going on in this school. And the thing I loved about this new version is that it's so different in so many ways, because, and this is going to be spoiler free, I'm not going to spoil anything, because you have to see this on your own. People need to see this movie, because it is insane, but it is incredible. But it is so different than the original one, because the characters are all there. It's the basic plot about the girl Susie going to this German ballet academy, and she goes there and mysterious things start happening. But everything that it happens is in this version is so different. Everything works in such a different way. How these people are interpreted, how the creepy things happen in this movie are totally different than the original, and I love that. I love that this movie is not a carbon copy of the original. Even with carbon copy remakes, I'm totally fine with sometimes. Like, the Psycho remake is awful, but I can watch it, it's watchable. Or like the Beauty and the Beast live action remake, which is basically the same thing with like a couple new songs. Like, I can definitely watch that, that's visually pleasing too, but like, I love when remakes do it differently. This one did it differently. I love how the original, and this is why I love both of them, I love this movie, but loving the original as well, I loved how the original had this beautiful color palette and these beautiful grisly kills, and Dario Argento is known for that, for how visually beautiful and colorful he can make his movies, especially Suspiria. Or sometimes he doesn't make them all beautiful, colorful, but in Suspiria in particular, that one is so visually, like, you see one shot online of Suspiria, you know it's Suspiria, even if they don't say that what movie it is, because it's so distinct and so visually pleasing. And I love the visuals in the original and how it looks. Everything, the cinematography is incredible, and the kills are incredible. And in this one, the cinematography and kills are done so different in a drastic way that it makes it so unique and so interesting. Whereas the original was a colorful, almost beautiful looking horror movie, this one is a bleak, dire, kind of an endlessly, despairingly, like, movie. By the end of the movie, it's just despair, and I love that. And the original is like that too, but this is a different type of hybrid of a movie. It's definitely different than the original, and I love that. I love how unique it is. I loved everything about it. It is something that I can see by anybody's opinions, that if you love or hate this new movie, I get completely 100% why you would love or hate it. Whenever the movie ended, whenever I saw it, half the people said they liked it, half the people said it was one of the worst things I've ever seen. You either gotta accept the ride or just get off the ride, because it's insane. It is just It's very unconventional, and I love when horror movies do that. I love whenever they're not a typical horror movie. Even though typical horror movies I love and enjoy and are so fun, but this one is so unconventional, trying to be so much different than the original, but also such a different movie in 2018. It doesn't try to do the typical thing. It does so many things that are going to turn people off immediately. But I love that. And I love how this director has had two amazing hits. Like, both of his movies I think are incredible. And watching this one just solidified my thoughts on him. Hopefully he'll keep making great movies. That's awesome. I love this director. He's such a great visual director, but he's also great at everything else. But visuals, I think, are his biggest standpoint in both of his movies. And I love both of them. I think this is just an incredible horror movie. And it's a horror movie that's, in a way, not completely a horror movie. Like, it is, but it has a lot of moments of not horror, which I feel like a lot of people who are horror fans who just want to go in and see blood and guts and gore. This is not the type of movie. It's trying to have a big story to it, a big mystery, a big unnerving sense of dread throughout, because this is a very dreadful movie. And as opposed to the original, where the original does have some dread in it, but it is very colorful, very beautifully pleasing movie. And in this one, it is dreadful and bleak. And I loved everything about it. And also Dakota Johnson, who I have not seen any movie with her in. I haven't seen those stupid 50 Shades movies or anything else that she's been in. But she was a standout. I loved her in this movie, and I thought she was incredible. I loved everything about her as well. I really did love the hell out of this movie, and I feel like everybody needs to go see it. Whether you walk out loving or hating it, because I feel like a good amount of people are going to walk out of this saying it's a piece of shit or saying it's horrible, like Hereditary or like Mother. Like, people are going to walk out and go, oh, it's too pretentious. Oh, it was not the type of horror movie I wanted. It didn't have like blood and guts every like 5 minutes. So it's not that type of movie, and I feel like people should go in with that mindset. So go and see this movie. And I know it's not even out yet, technically, November 2nd, and tomorrow, or no, the next day, November 2nd, because today is October 31st. November 2nd, it comes out in theaters. So go and see this. Go and support this movie. Go and support this individuality for this horror movie, for this type of genre, because I love movies like this. Like I said, like Mother, like Hereditary, I love whenever they do something unique and different with these movies. This just blew me away. Everything about it I loved. It's not for everybody. I can see why anybody would love or hate this movie, but I dug the hell out of Suspiria. Just a dreadful, dreary, awful movie, but in the best way. I loved everything about this movie. So tell me down below, if you're going to see it, what do you think about it? Or what did you think about it if you saw it? Thank you so much for watching. Comment, subscribe if you want. Thank you guys so much for watching.